Hi Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading. This is for Summer Rising Venus. Check out the other placements for additional messages. As this is a general reading, messages may or may not apply. Just take what resonates and leave what doesn't for the next person. I can be picking up on someone around you or someone you could be dealing with, so you might have to swap the roles. And if this reading doesn't resonate right away, it may be something that happens down the line. If you'd like, you can keep this in your back pocket or come back at a later time. We're going to take a look and see what messages need to come through for you guys for the week ahead or the remainder of June 2021. Get some insight, wisdom, guidance, and overall see what's going on for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're interested, you can check me out on Instagram at Jadestone Tarot. And with that being said, let's get into this reading. Also, if you notice that my sound is different, it's because my microphone stopped working. Shout out to Mercury retrograde. So for the time being, I have to use my phone's microphone to record. I'm gonna wait till Mercury goes direct before I get anything new. But yes, that's been annoying. Whew, I'm looking forward to Mercury going direct. Anyway, so messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Any messages for Capricorn, please, for the week ahead, the remainder of June? What's going on, please, for Capricorn? Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead? Any messages, please, for my Capricorns? Let's see. Messages for Capricorn, we got the rabbit coming out, Earth energy. Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Messages for Capricorn, the golden egg. Oh. Let's get one more for Capricorn for the week ahead. Anything else for Capricorn? Maybe not. Okay, just kidding. The hummingbird. Okay, yeah. So, what I'm getting here, we have air and earth energy as well as spirit coming out, so you guys are highly protected, being watched over and guided always, but just a friendly reminder that you are never alone. But so, the energy that I'm picking up on, or the group that I'm picking up on, you guys might be experiencing a little bit more anxiety than usual, or for some it's like an extreme amount of anxiety, like something has you stressed out, whether it's just about your future, not really knowing what to expect ahead, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you don't really know what's around the corner, and that can get very overwhelming at times. And that's kind of the energy I'm feeling from this. It's like you guys might be getting really worked up about the future, not really knowing what to expect, nothing's really set in stone right now, and you're just kind of worried, scared, anxious about like where you're going. Maybe you're kind of second guessing, am I on the right path, am I doing the right thing, what if not, what if this, what if that, like there's just like a lot on your mind, and spirit is telling you guys to really get grounded in your thoughts. Take some time to just breathe. Take some nice long deep breaths. Seriously, some of you have been really tense. There's a lot on your mind, and your mind is just racing, like the racing rabbit, the racing rabbit, you guys are needing to slow down a little bit. You guys are getting very, very stressed out over something, and so you're really needing to just try to be in the present moment. I know that can be difficult, but this is just a reminder, like, hey, try to be more present. Be more present. What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you see? What do you smell? Things like that, like really connecting with your five senses and checking in with yourself, making that a priority and committing to that and returning to that on the daily, because the hummingbird talks about returning to something that keeps you sane through all the chaos in life, through all the things going on in your personal life, on a grand scale, globally. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot of intense energy, and some of you might need to just like limit social media intake, or just like being aware of what you are giving your energy to. Okay, like even just taking a little break, or detoxing, a little social media detox. Unfollow those that make you feel badly about yourselves, or just things that aren't good for you, needing to maybe get rid of it, or, a little bit of that devil energy some of you may need to be working through, or just being mindful of indulging in things that maybe aren't the best influence on you, and focusing more on things that help further you and make you feel good and empowered and strong and confident, just remember that. So, with that golden egg, like I said, this talks about you guys needing to sit in some silence, okay? I know your mind, it's racing. This actually, in the book, it talks about, like, the advice is to not talk for a day. So, if that's possible for you, maybe take the advice. But the golden egg talks about needing to just sit in silence and connect with yourself. And maybe there's like some sort of questions that are on your mind, or some things that you're trying to uncover, some sort of truths, trying to connect with yourself or your intuition, but you can't even hear it because your thoughts are all over the place and your ego is riding right now. Your ego is driving, not riding. You're riding, ego's driving. And it's hard for you to hear your intuition, right? Because I always say this, it's like when you get a phone call, you're in a loud, busy room, and you answer the phone call, but you can't hear what the person's saying on the other side, so you actually have to get out of that loud room and go somewhere quiet where you can actually hear them. Otherwise, you're going to be like, what are you saying? I can't hear you, you know? So needing to, in this case, your mind is busy. You can't hear your higher self. Your higher self is speaking. You're like, I can't hear you. I can't see you. I'm blind. It's dark in here. It's like, you know, so needing to focus on the breath, focus on being in the now, get into some sort of creative outlet that puts you in the now, okay? Whether that's like gardening or going out for a walk or doing some sort of creative project, art, or like, I don't know, whatever you find that's expressive and helps you release. Whether that's working out or, you know, certain things like that, but returning to that. And also, you know, it mentions meditation and learning to get comfortable with being vulnerable with yourself and looking at yourself and having some honest conversations with yourself and, you know, kind of digging deep. This is like the heart space, represents your heart. The golden egg talks about like that golden hearts, you know, for those that are, you know, working towards a goal, working towards some sort of goal, whether that's, you know, health related, yourself related, career related, studies related, relationship, whatever it is, maybe it's multiple things. You know, you're on the right track. Your egg right now, it's warm. It needs to be nurtured, keeping it warm so that it can hatch later on. It's not quite ready to be hatched. Whatever this is, it's developing. You're making progression. You are progressing on this journey. And some of you are like, oh, but I'm not seeing things happen quick enough. And I was saying that to Cancer. Things happen at a much different pace than we wish and demand. You know, we want things instantly. We want things to be right here, right now. Like I can't even snap your fingers. I can't snap right now. You ever have those days where you just can't snap or like whistle? Because I do. Oh my gosh. That's just one of those moments. Anyways, wanting things instantly, but that's not really how it works. And needing to surrender and to enjoy the process. And I know it's kind of hard to. Patience, I was saying this to Cancer. Patience is one of the most important lessons we can learn. Patience. It is something to master, and it sure is a hard one too, but it will be worth it, 100%. This is golden. And some of you are just really in your head like, oh, but what if it won't hatch, or what if this, or what if that? No, you just got to stay on your egg, keep it warm, nurture your ideas, nurture yourself, nurture whatever it is that you're working towards, keep it up, keep that consistency, all right? And practice mindfulness, okay? The rabbit talks about manifesting. Now, of course, your impulsive thoughts and your negative thoughts, a lot of it won't come to fruition. Or really, a lot of it won't. Manifesting, it's more than just writing down things on a piece of paper and saying things, affirmations out loud. It actually requires action, right? So even those doubts and those limiting beliefs that you have, yeah, okay, that's part of it. It can cause delays because our thoughts turn into actions, our actions turn into habits. So if we are already limiting ourselves in our minds, then we're not really putting too much action towards it because we're not really believing in ourselves, and then therefore we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure, right? But when you have those impulsive thoughts or moments where you fall into that fear mentality, you're not going to attract it unless you allow yourself, unless you stay in it forever, right? Then yeah, okay, you probably will go down that rabbit hole. But if you recognize, which you are totally capable of doing, and you learn to control and master, just practice even awareness of your thoughts. And when you have that negative thought, when you talk badly to yourself, when you have those like negative ways you speak to yourself, catch it, recognize it, change it, okay? Take it back and say something positive. Oh, I feel so ugly today. No, you are beautiful. Tell yourself you're beautiful, you know? Things like that. Just catch yourself in the moment when you say or do something or you think something. catch yourself. And that's going to take a little bit of practice. But once you begin to do that, you become more aware, and then you're able to reprogram your mind. You know, our minds are basically like little computers. Not little, complex as computers, okay? And it is totally possible for you guys to retrain your thinking patterns, and that will help aid you towards everything else, because really our thoughts have such a shift, such a influence on our lives, our perspective, how we look at things. Even for example, a few days ago, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I think I had just a bad dream, didn't really remember it, but left me with just that yucky feeling. I know you guys probably had those days, and I just kind of was feeling off for the morning, and I was like, oh, I just feel crappy, I don't know why, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I don't want to feel this way. And then when I was like, I don't want to feel this way, I was like, oh, you're right, I don't have to feel this way. And I was like, okay, let me just change my perspective real quick. I'm so blessed, I'm so grateful for all the things I have. I just started to think positive things about my life and what I have and the blessings that are around me, and just even going outside and getting some sunlight, just taking some nice long deep breaths, just reconnecting myself to the present moment. And it really helped shake that yucky feeling I woke up with. And then the rest of the day went on, and I actually had a really beautiful day. So our perception has a huge influence on ourselves and our lives, and just to remember that. And that's going to be something that's going to be a process to work on, and I think that's just coming up for you guys. That's a message for you guys to take with you moving forward, is recognizing that you do have the capability to overcome these limitations and these fears and these worries. And it's going to take practice, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's not even going to happen in a month. It's going to take some long-term dedication, even something I have to work with, and I've been on this journey for a couple years now, but it is possible, and it is worth it. And yeah, so, and that's what the hummingbird talks about, just returning to that, returning to what keeps you grounded, returning to that sweet goodness that helps keep you feeling grounded whenever your energy is depleted, when you're feeling drained, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling whatever. To return to this on the daily, or as often as you can. That's what's really going to help replenish you and keep you grounded, and remind yourself of all the positive things that you do have going on for yourself, okay? Or what's yet to come, because obviously not everybody is feeling all, when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to stay positive, but just to practice gratitude. That's the message coming through. And mindfulness. Gratitude and mindfulness, okay? Let's pull some tarot messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, for the week ahead or the rest of June. Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? What's going on for Capricorn? What do they need to hear? Oops. Any insight, wisdom, guidance for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead, end of June? What can Capricorn expect? Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead? Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead, end of June 2021? Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, insight, wisdom, guidance, please. One more. Let's get into it. Message. Oh, well, Eight of Cups trying to come out, but it didn't. But if it's meant to, it will come out again. Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We have Temperance reversed, or the backside. Yeah, so there's a little bit of lack of balance here. Again, kind of similar energy I'm feeling from the Rabbit. Really needing to ground yourselves. Seriously. Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We also have the Queen of Wands, Aries energy, as well as fire. Lots of fire energy coming through already. Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. I was like, what am I reading for? Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead, end of June. Oh, there we go. Aha! There's that devil energy I was feeling. I knew I was feeling that energy, Capricorn. I mean, that's your element, but you're kind of out of your element. You get me? Feeding into imbalances or things that just kind of not helping you, holding you back with my words, y'all. Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus the Queen of Swords. Oh, look at you standing your ground, okay? Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Wands backside, the Moon, and the Fool. And the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, okay. Nice. So we actually got 3 major arcana in a row. 4, 5 throughout this entire spread. Pretty important times you guys are going through with the group I'm picking up on. This is, you know, with all this retrograde energy going on, right? We have like 5 planets retrograding, or we'll have 5 planets retrograding in June. So it's going to be intense. There is lessons of the past coming up. And I'm kind of getting that. Like, as if there's like the temptation, maybe not temptation, but just like habits, falling back into old habits, old ways, old mindsets, old beliefs, certain things that you may have broken away from, but it's almost like you're falling kind of back to how things used to be. And, you know, that happens. We slip up, we fall back, we have moments, we have setbacks. It's okay. This is obviously a lesson that's coming up, and you guys are being aware of that, and you're actually creating change here. What I'm seeing throughout this entire spread, it starts off like kind of imbalance, feeding into this devil fear-like mindset, and feeding into these imbalances, and kind of like falling back to old ways. And then with this Queen of Swords that comes out, it's like, no, you know what? I'm putting my foot down. I can't keep doing this. I'm aware of this cycle, and I'm making a choice, right? The Page of Wands backside, it looks like a choice to me. It's like I can either choose the dark side or the light side. I can either stay in this devil mindset, or I can enter into the unknown, as scary and as uncomfortable as it might feel. But to trust my intuition, to trust my gut, and feel my way through, and it will lead me to something real good. Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so that's like down the line. So yeah, kind of like the order, it's like what I've just said. I don't need to repeat myself. Okay, so Saggy energy, Temperance backside, bit of imbalance. Also impatience too. Like I was feeling that some of you are like, oh, I'm not seeing results instantly. I must be failing, or what if I'm not good enough? You know, that's kind of been a theme for a few signs recently, of like doubts and fears and worries of not being good enough, comparing yourself, comparing your process. You know, and this requires a lot of strength for you to overcome. It is not easy. This is actually very difficult for you guys to push through, but it is possible, like I said. But it's just falling back into that devil mentality, and yeah, it just requires a lot of strength. Anyways, to get grounded, you guys are a bit out of your element, and you're needing to connect with yourself. I think some of you maybe have been disconnected to yourself for a while, or have kind of shut yourself out of that, or like avoided having those moments to yourself where you ask yourself, well, why do I feel this way, or where does this stem from? You know, kind of like facing your own little demons, your own little devil. What was your last reading about? Wasn't it called what was the title? I'm gonna look. Taming the Devil. That was your last reading, Capricorn. So, kind of continuation of that. It's like, you guys, so, because that was your June reading, pretty sure. And this is like, you know, middle June, weekly, mid-months, end of June. So it's looking like that's kind of like part 2 of that reading. It's like working through taming the devil. And it ain't easy. And it requires a lot of strength. And it's hard, especially because this is something that you've been chained to. This has been a cycle that you've been on. It's been a lesson. It's been a huge hurdle to climb, a huge mountain to climb, hurdle to jump over, mountain to climb. My words, y'all. But it is possible, and I see that you are doing it. You may have setbacks. There may be moments, like I said, you go forward 5 steps, 10 steps backwards. It's a process. But every time, even though you may fall back, it is not a failure. It is an opportunity for you to grow. It's like when you are learning to ride a bike, right? Maybe you got those training wheels on. It's kind of easy. It's whatever. You take the training wheels off, and you may fall many times. But each time you fall, but you get back on that bike, you get better and better and better and stronger. And before you know it, you are good and you're solid. So even though there might be some setbacks, some delays, every single time you feel like you've gone back, you've moved actually a step forward. You just don't see it. You don't see the whole picture right now. And that's okay. But to know that every fail, it's not a fail. It's an opportunity for you to learn and grow. And you are. And to just remember that. And to not beat yourself up over that. Some of you have been really, really harsh on yourselves. And that's not fair. give yourself credit. Like, seriously, this, whatever you're going through, Capricorn, or whatever it is that you could be struggling with, even if it's just like your mindset, or like some of you are like really struggling with like even depression. I'm just kind of picking up on that, like just like a mental battle with yourself, and that's not easy. It isn't. If you even need to like speak to someone or get like help, whether that's like from an actual therapist or if it's just someone you trust, honestly, I think that would really benefit those that feel that way, or you feel like you're fighting this devil on your own. You're not alone. You really aren't. Your angels, if you believe in it, I do. Your angels, your guides, your ancestors, they're around watching over you and protecting you. And I was kind of picking that up in Cancer's read. Notice how like the egg is in a nest and it's being like held like in a snug little nest, like a nice big hug. I was saying this for Cancer's read. They had a different spirit card come out. I just kind of was getting like that feeling of a nice warm hug, like just feeling comforted. And even in this golden egg, as this does represent the heart space, it talks about healing. It talks about opening up your heart. It talks about learning to love and giving and receiving unconditional love. What was I going with this? Oh, you guys, damn, I was really on to say something, and then like I lost the train of thought. Oh, Mercury retrograde, please. It's really been messing with me this month, I swear. It's like, holy shit, so many brain farts, y'all. Something about support. Again, like you are very much supported. Even though some of you may feel like you're not, you got yourself, right? You always got yourself to the very end. Be your own bestie. Give yourself that love, that compassion, that appreciation. Even though you may feel like you don't deserve it, you do. That's for someone out there. You're like, oh, but I don't deserve that. Yes, you do. I care. I'm sending you all my love, okay? Like, my heart goes out to y'all. Anyways, first of all, I forgot to mention this Queen of Wands. Creative endeavors. This kind of goes in with that hummingbird. Focusing and returning to what makes you feel good. And with this Queen of Wands, she's in this kind of foresty background, like very grounded energy. Notice how her throne is like roots of a tree. Root yourself. Ground yourself. You guys have been way too flexible, way too flimsy. It's time to ground yourself. Don't be stiff, but be flexible. But ground yourself. Plant your feet on the ground. I think whoever's really feeling this energy, whoever is strongly resonating with this, today, whenever you watch this, go outside barefoot on the grass if you got grass near you. If you don't, maybe go to the park and take your shoes off. I know people might look at you like you're crazy, but honestly, who gives a fuck? You'll probably never see them again anyways. I'm just saying, but really ground yourselves. Be out in nature. Be by the trees. Let's go for a little walk by like a forest or something. Like really just get in your element, Capricorn. Just get that fresh air. I think that will really help you guys, especially when it comes to like calming your mind and just being out in nature. That's really helpful. Whenever you feel yucky or down or stuck, just go out and get some fresh air and just listen to the birds and listen to the surroundings. It's so like peaceful. It always makes me feel so much better, and I know a lot of people can say the same. Anyways, so I had a similar thing. I was just talking about the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Now this is where you put your foot down. This is where you say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm tired of this. I'm making some changes, I'm making some adjustments, and I'm going to be cutting this devil out of my life once and for all, right? That's where you make that choice, and no more excuses. I think that, again, that was like part of your last reading. No more excuses, no more making excuses for yourself or saying, oh, well, I can't because of this, or I can't because of that. You can. You do have your free will. Obviously, I don't know your situation, and it may not be as easy as it seems, but, you know, taking the steps to get there. Even if you gotta take 100 steps to get there, still making progress, right? Every single step counts. Like I said, Page of Wands, backside with the moon, looking like you guys have a choice as to where you're going, where you're moving, and there might be a little bit of hesitation or insecurity, especially if this talks about you guys stepping out of your comfort zone or stepping out of what you know, and really needing to feel your way through and to pay attention to your gut feelings and your intuition. This is Piscean energy as well as Cancer. And I think the correct path will be illuminated. The correct path will show itself to you. It will lead the way. It will help you. And then, you know, you follow that, you move forward, even though it's uncomfortable, even though you might be stepping out of your comfort zone or into the unknown, right? Because maybe you've been so used to this devil situation or devil mindset or environment, that you've gotten so comfortable with it that that's like all you know for some. Now that you've kind of broken away from that, you're like, well, what's next? What even is life, you know? But you got something brand new here changing with the Fool. Brand new beginning, brand new opportunity for you guys to live the life that you always wanted for yourself without any of those limitations or those fears, and finally living life on your terms. And just to give it your best shot, look here, even though the Wheel of Fortune is just like positive change is yet to come. You know, to expect nothing but the best. Really trust. Really trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the divine. Trust that you're being led down the best path that will lead to a lot of great things, okay? We're going to pull a fairy message for you guys. This is a new deck. I've been itching to use it for this channel. I've had it for a few months, but just not like too familiar with it, but I just kind of want to try it out and see how it works with these readings by one card, okay? So any fairy messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead, end of June 2021. Any fairy messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the end of June. The week ahead for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Any fairy messages, please, for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Whoa, that was weird. I felt like my heart like beat. Like, I know obviously your heart beats, but it just felt like strong. What the hell? I don't know what that's about, y'all. Like someone's, I guess, heart racings or hearts like fast beating. What am I saying? Okay. Any fairy messages for Capricorn for the week ahead? Thank you. Oh, that gnome. We have 26. Oh, that gnome. Number 8 when it breaks down to an 8. Okay, let's see. Yeah. You know what? This makes sense already. Just like looking how frustrated he feels, and even his nose is red, as if like maybe some of you have been crying a lot, just feeling super frustrated and like just blowing your nose, and you know, don't you hate it when like you cry and like your eyes puff up? It's like, really? Your eyes puff up, you get a headache, your nose is all red. It's like, y'all are punishing me for crying. Like, so I'm just getting that energy looking at this card. It's just like, you know, some of you may gone through a box of tissues recently and you guys are just feeling a little bit struggled, but look at how he's still grounded. He still remains grounded despite all the frustrations and things that come up in life, and really testing your patience here, pushing you past your limits. But yet you still remain grounded. You need to get grounded, okay? Okay, let's talk about this. So number 26. Oh, that gnome. Oh, wow. I'm just already reading like the very top part. I'm like, oh, this is actually fitting. Okay, so, oh, that gnome. Trickster, creative chaos, wild gifts, breaking habits, and patterns. Woo! This is the trickster who exists in every world. He comes to us wearing our own faces to fool us into thinking that his ideas are our own. He brings creative chaos into our lives. He helps us break down old habits by showing us how silly they are. He encourages us to fall on our faces so that we get a different point of view, looking up past our mud-smeared noses. He helps us get to ourselves in situations where we discover gifts we never knew we had, often because there is no other way out of this mess we got ourselves into. As Brian, the artist of this deck, mentions, that gnome is unreliable and sometimes encourages drunkenness. This is true. He certainly doesn't always do what we expect, but our expectations are our problem, not his, he says. As for drunkenness, in vino veritas, in wine there's truth. When we let down our mental sensors and filters, we sometimes come up with discoveries about who we really are and what we really want that we hadn't let ourselves know. Fitting with that golden egg energy. Okay. When he appears, it is the breakthrough time, and all too often, the first step in the breakthrough feels like a breakdown. Literally, though, y'all are going through it. Oh, I'm sending you guys all my love. Hold on, where am I? There are better ways of doing this than getting drunk or going on a psychotic break. Just, oh my god. Going on a psychotic break. But the better ways are to take skill, and he has to work with what he has, us, just as we are. That gnome tells wild and wonderful long-winded stories, complete with demonstrations of the action and much arm waving. An online group member says, he adds, that gnome is full of knowledge, but the trick is sorting out the truth from the fiction. It takes a lot of good sense to be able to listen to him. He isn't known for his patience. Oh my god, literally what I was saying to you guys. Hold on. If that gnome breaks a vase, the pieces will fall into patterns of great significance and meaning. But it's up to us to read and understand it. He is the potentially constructive force of chaos. That gnome is also the keeper of our wild talents, the ones we may not even know we have. When he appears, it is often to call our attention to our latent gifts. In a nutshell, which is where he claims to belong, his job is to help us get lost from our comfortable ruts so that we can explore the wonderful, exciting, and strange new paths. He is a good friend of Raven, the philosopher, trickster, and Coyote is one of his many disguises. He is so smart that he can sometimes outsmart himself. Can you laugh at yourself sometimes and let the laughter carry you into new insights and new ways of being? Then that gnome within you is waving his fairy wand gleefully. It is time to leap into the air, letting the earth turn beneath you and discover where you come down again. Reasonable risks are okay. You'll leap, of course, but do so understanding that the actual jump is likely to be very rewarding. Literally! Y'all! What? You get me? Like, that is literally what we had come out. Oh my god. Just as I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, this is so fitting. No guarantees, but then there are never really anyway. No matter how pretty the paper they may seem to be printed on and the scroll work around the edge. In a reading, the presence of that gnome tells us that the forces of chaos are at work. Things may not be as they seem, and this may very well be a good thing. Look for the unexpected, find the opportunity in it, and go for it. He says that no matter how confused things may seem, there is a way to make them better. But it is a creative way. Once you haven't tried before, he says, think amazing new thoughts. And when this is reversed, in a way, a trickster is always reversed, and sometimes even perverse. Sometimes the reverse is even reversed into other dimensions, standing on his head. That gnome could be saying, be careful, there is trickery going on, or he who hesitates is lost, or play it safe, or fools rush into where the angels fear to tread. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes fools accomplish things that angels thought impossible, or complete honesty may not be the best policy, but lying is definitely not the best policy, or discretion is the better part of valor, but which, you ask, is the real answer? Oh, you want that kind of answer? A neat one in a box? I'm sorry, but that gnome doesn't do those kinds of answers. He is here to shake you up, jolt loose some preconceptions, help you see yourself and your situation as it really is, and aid you in finding a new and unorthodox response. That's all. Oh my god, y'all. That was something else. These cards are crazy. Wow. Okay. I don't even know how to summarize it right now in my brain. Let's just wrap this up with some Tikashi messages. Alright, but totally kind of fitting for this, not kind of, it is fitting for this spread. Woo! So that is, oh, that gnome. Tikashi messages for Capricorn, summarizing Venus for the week ahead, end of June. Any Tikashi messages for Capricorn, please. Any Tikashi messages for Capricorn, summarizing Venus for the week ahead. Alright, oh. What do we have on the ground? We have two cards. Okay, choice. We're going to keep these, and trust. Literally what I said to you guys. Alright, we'll go with those two. Choice. Stop making decisions from a fear-based childhood, no choice belief. Childhood realities have taught you a great deal, but it's time to let them go and be an empowered adult. It is time to take charge of your life and make purposeful choices. Now, as an adult, you never ever have no choice. Be prepared to look at all options. There are often more choices than you think. Trust. No fear. Trust yourself, your knowing, your intuition, your wholeness. Move with certainty. Be sure of yourself. Now may be a decision time. It is only fear that could hold you back now. When you know that there is no such thing as a wrong decision, you will trust yourself joyfully. Literally, that Page of Wands backside decision. That's what I felt. That's what I felt earlier. It is time to trust in the process of growth. Let go, allow, and flow. You might just enjoy it. Wow. So, Capricorn, that is what I got for you guys for this weekly reading. If you guys found this helpful or insightful, please let me know in the comments below, as well as leave a like, subscribe. You can turn on the bell so that you are notified when I upload. If you guys are interested, you can check me out on Instagram at JStoneTarot. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.